Welcome back to the Fall Major Expert Division qualifying round, hole number 5. Here we're setting up for a Zerk send it shot to the green for a easy eagle. And if everything goes your way, possible hole in one. Still needs quite a bit more tweaking to do on this shot if you actually want to try to get the hole in one. It's qualifying round, and I'm not gonna spend crazy amount of time on this shot trying to dial in a hole in one for the qualifying round. So if you'd like, you can make some modifications and spend some time on it, and you might just be able to get it a little more frequently than I have. But I'm gonna give you guys the base setup, the base shot, and I'm gonna give you mid-level wind tweaks, and then you'll have to take it from there, right? So I've got, you know, 15 lines of tweaks here in our guide. I'm not going over all that here. I'm just going to give you the mid-level for each one, and then you can adjust from there. So the adjustment for this shot, so we're using APOC 5 plus and a Zerk. We're adjusting P5 minus 75% max numbers. We're setting up in the water left of the last island. We want APOC 5 and 6. You'll have 1/3 of the yellow ring into the bricks. APOC 7 is yellow ring touching like you see here, and then APOC 8 is 2/3 of the red ring into the bricks. At P5 max rest, all of them. Once you get that position, like I said, you'll adjust P5 minus 75% max numbers. And then we've got 3 major wind angles that we're looking at here. And they break down like this. So anything basically left of that tree trunk, and then anything, if you look at these two trees, you got the kind of reddish tree, the light green tree, and then in the back you got that brighter green tree. What I'm looking at for this is I'm gonna split that right there. So split the light green section from the tree in the back. That's going to give me my wind angles. So over here we're looking at tailwind, neutral, and then crosswind. All right. Like I said, I'm only going to give you the mid-range wind tweaks for this, and then you can, adjust it up or down for higher or lower winds as needed. If you're in the tailwind angle, your winds are 10-4 to 10-8. We're using 3.2 backspin, 1.7 right spin, and then we're pushing up 4+ yards. All right. If you're in the neutral angle and your wind is 10.4 to 10.8, we're using 2.8 backspin, 1.9 right spin, and we're pushing up 4+ yards. If you're in the crosswind angle and your wind is 10.4 to 10.8, we're using 2.8 backspin, 2 right spin, and we're pushing up 4+ yards. So I know it sounds a little weird that you're pushing up the same amount of plus yards for each wind angle, but we're also tweaking the backspin, and the idea is we want to push it up as much as we can so that we can use enough backspin to slow the ball down enough to go in the hole if we so happen to get lucky enough, to roll it across the pin. And you need, a fair amount of backspin depending on your wind, right? if you got a king wind 11.9 and you got the tailwind, you're going to need like 4 backspin, 4.2 backspin, and you still need to push it up 2+ yards. And the reason you're pushing it up is so that we can add more backspin and come in slower to the hole, because we're going to get more wind push from the tailwind. So we need more backspin. Therefore, we need to push it up so that we can use the more backspin and not clip the rough on our third bounce. So that's the idea behind it. There's definitely some other ways you can go about this. You can bounce it off the pad using, top spin, clip the rough and roll out. There's several other ways you can do this, but this is kind of like our easy eagle, safe easy eagle with a chance at a drop, which is why we're doing it this way. Hopefully we can get some kind of similar wins to this in the later rounds, and maybe we can get a hole-in-one dialed in. All of the wind angles are using a half a ball of right curl. If you have low tailwind, you need a little bit more than a half a ball of right curl. If you have low crosswind, you need a little bit more than a half a ball of right curl, because we're just not getting the wind push. So that's your base shot. If you clip the rough and roll out short, the standard EB rule, P5 plus 20 at slider, works fine here. Most of the time, even if you clip and roll out, you're going to roll up right next to the green and leave yourself a straight tailwind and bringer shot that don't even really need to be adjusted. So, should always be safe here with an easy eagle and an off chance at the hole-in-one. So I would wish you guys best of luck. Hope you all get some drops. Hopefully some of you get the hole-in-one. And we'll catch you on the next hole.